Today's guest is the queen of holistic success herself, Rochel Marie Lawson. She's here to show us how aligning your energy with your mindset and your body can unlock the clarity and confidence you need to grow a business that actually feels good to run.
First of all, you have to know what you're passionate about. And a lot of times we think we're passionate about this or that or the other, but they're really just moments in time. When you're passionate about it, it comes from your heart and soul. And people can see that. They resonate with that energy. What would you do even if you didn't get paid for it, but you do it because you love to do it? When you're embracing spirituality, make sure that you're not doing it because of external influences and you're being led by what's on in the media at that moment in time. Anytime you have to force something, it's not right. It's not meant for you. Whether you're detoxifying your mind, your body, your spirit, you gotta scrape away the shit. And sometimes scraping away the shit reveals things that you don't like about yourself. That's the shit that prevents us from being in that beautiful essence.
Today's guest is the queen of feeling fabulous herself. We've got Rochel Marie Lawson. She's a nurse, an author, an Ayurvedic practitioner, and founder of Blissful Living for You. And we're going to talk about wellness, mindset, and how both of them are so crucial on your path to success. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
You've worked in engineering, communications, nursing. What sparked your transition into holistic wellness and transformation?
So my journey with holistic wellness began probably, I want to say it started when I was 10. And it was just over the course of many years that I just gathered different bits of information when it came to holistic wellness, but I didn't really know what it was. And then when I was 25, I was meditating and just kind of had a download and led me to want to discover more. I was already a nurse. I already had my telecom company. And so I started diving into more about things that I had been doing for quite a long time, at least 15, 20 years, and realized that what I was doing was Ayurveda. And so I wanted to learn more. So I got an advanced master's degree in Ayurveda and became an Ayurvedic nurse practitioner. But in my journey as being a ER trauma nurse, I would do stuff with my patients that was it was totally off the scale of what we were practicing back then when it, in comparison to Western medicine. Like I would have patients that would be having heart attacks and I'd be having them doing deep breathing and doing meditation and, stuff like that. Literally, we would see their arrhythmia change to normal sinus, or it would bounce in and out of normal sinus and back into whatever arrhythmia that brought them in. And so I also would talk to my patients about just holistic things, mindset, meditation, imbalances in their body, imbalances within their unique essence, which in Ayurveda is called your dosha. And it was interesting because I had quite a few patients that would come back, and I worked the night shift. So I was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I would have many patients come back and tell me that what I share with them completely changed their life and put them on a journey to wellness instead of sickness. And that's when I was like, okay, this kind of is working. This kind of is for real, for real. I knew it was for me, but when a patient came back, it gave me confirmation that it really was something very magical and that we could use it to really have, as I say, wellness, wisdom, and wealth in our lives.
Will you break down is it Ayurveda?
Ayurveda. So yes, I would love to. Ayurveda is a holistic modality, a medical modality and way of life that originated in India somewhere between, they say, 3,500 to 7,000 years ago. It's all about utilizing the natural essences of what's provided here on our planet, such as herbs or food and things of that nature to help keep our unique essence, which is our dosha, in balance. And our doshas, there's three predominant doshas, which is vata, pitta, which is comprised of fire and water, and then kapha, which is comprised of earth and water, and vata is air and ether. So it utilizes the five elements. And whenever there's an imbalance within a person, it's related to the imbalance of whatever essence they are out of balance with. Say if you're Vata, you're comprised of air and ether, where when you're out of balance, your air, your ether is way out of balance. And when you're a Pitta and you're comprised of fire, well, when you're out of balance, the fire is fierce. It's like a volcano. And of course, kappas, when they're out of balance, they're stuck, they're stagnant. And so, in order for us to have harmonistic well being within us, we need to keep our unique essence. It's easy to do, and it's easy to begin incorporating the things that we need to do to keep them in balance into our life. The problem is most people, when it's easy, people don't get that immediate gratification, you know what I mean? And so it takes time. You can't go from being out of balance to being in balance overnight. There's things that you need to do to work. Just like your body when you go to exercise, everybody wants flat abs. Well, you can't go to the gym and work the abs one time and think they're going to be, you go have that six pack, right? You
Why
take
not?
over time. I know, girl.
7 minutes.
But over time, you keep doing it, and then you notice you got your legs are sculpted, you got your, biceps are chiseled, your abs are looking good. You feel a lot more comfortable stepping out in that thong bikini. So it's the same thing with Ayurveda, and it works synergistically with Western medicine. And I think that's one of the reasons my patients loved it, because I didn't tell them to like go from Western medicine to Eastern medicine. I'm like, you can blend them together to fit your lifestyle, and over time you will see improvements in your life, but you have to be diligent. And once it becomes a habit, then you don't even have to think about it because it's just the way you live.
Is Ayurveda a physical only piece of wellness, or is there also a mental, spiritual part
So
to
it's
it?
encompassing mind, body, spirit. It is physical as well as mental as well as spiritual. There's things that you do because not only are the doshas related to your physical body, they're related to your mindset. So your physical body could be looking good, but if your mind is all chaotic, then you're out of balance in your mind. So the doshas encompass your whole essence, what we can see and what we cannot see. And that's a beautiful thing because sometimes Western medicine is compartmentalized, physical, and then the mental. But in Ayurveda, it all is synergistically harmonized. And so what's in your mental state will flow down into your physical body and will begin to manifest the signs and symptoms of imbalance and can lead to illness and disease.
I do this checklist with my coach every quarter that's like 1 to 10, how do you feel about this? And I don't look at the past results, I just do it quick, 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 my answers. And one of them is spirituality, how do you feel 1 to 10? And I'm usually around a 2 or 3 because I don't do organized religion and I don't have a set of I don't know, I don't feel like spirituality is really tough for me. And so learning about the things like Ayurveda or chakras kind of go, what's a way that someone like me can dabble or dip my toes in and get comfortable and then open up to it more?
So I'm not religious either. I was, but I'm not anymore. I'm not more spiritual. I am spiritual.
Mhm.
And so the first thing I'm going to say is the moment you share with someone that is not of the spiritual essence, more religious base, they're going to look at you crazy and try to talk to you they're going to try to convert you to whatever their religious belief is and try to really hone into it. So I say, in order for you to be comfortable with embracing the wisdom of spirituality, which encompasses everything and was the foundation of all religion bases, right? The more you become comfortable with it, you don't necessarily have to work hard at it. People will look at you and see something different about you, but they won't ask. Sometimes they may ask, but most of the time they won't ask because either one, they don't want to hear what you have to say because if it's different than what their belief is, then they're not going to be receptive. And two, sometimes they're just curious, but then if they ask and you start going into explaining to them, they kind of you could see that their eyes are just like, what? So I say, in order to embrace the spiritual aspect, get quiet with yourself. And it's almost like a meditation. Close your eyes, get quiet with yourself, and ask yourself the question as, Why? What's your real reason behind embracing spirituality? 2, what do you plan to do with the wisdom that is shared with you? 3, what's your goal in encompassing spirituality and the practices of spirituality? 4, are you truly ready to embrace the wisdom or spirituality, or are you being led or influenced by someone and you think it's cool? And 5, if it's really, really something that you want to do, you can't eat the whole peach cobbler. You've got to take little tablespoons of it and allow the little tablespoons to become part of you before you take another tablespoon. And over time, you will have embraced the whole peach cobbler, so to speak, the whole essence of spirituality, and it'll become natural. It shouldn't be something that you should have to work really hard at, but it should be a gradual process. And over time, you evolve into a different person and you will shed that old self of you because you have embraced the wisdom of the divine, so to speak, the spiritual essence. And the old self, it just won't resonate. It's like hearing somebody scratch the chalkboard.
Uh-huh.
It'll just not resonate. And I think the words I'm using is you'll fight it. You know, you'll fight it. You'll push it back because that's no longer you. And it's okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, just take your time, gradually learn and embrace what you learned in bite-sized pieces until one day you've transformed. You've shed that old skin like the snake and you've become this new beautiful essence. And the other thing is do it for yourself. Not because your friends are doing it or your mama's doing it or your daddy's doing it or somebody's just pumping you with this information that you need to do. Do it because it's truly what you want to do and you'll know. And then always have the communication processes with yourself and the divine who will guide you on your journey to becoming that spiritual being that you're desiring to be.
If somebody's just dabbling or like, I don't know if it's for me, they can fall we'll put your links below, but you have great content on Instagram where you do little mini 5-day challenges, little like, here's where you can start just to see how this feels, and it's not overwhelming. It's not an on-off switch. It's a slowly get in the pool and let's or one bite of the peach cobbler is great.
Yeah, I think sometimes, we see celebrities and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go back. This is, I don't know, maybe 10, 12, 14 years ago. I don't know. Remember when Kabbalah became this big thing?
The red bracelets, everyone
Yeah,
wanted.
the red string bracelets,
Yeah.
right, and, Madonna was doing it, and all these stars were jumping on doing Kabbalah. We don't hear nothing about Kabbalah. Right? Nothing. I mean, it was
Mhm.
in for a while, and then it was gone. It's like this fad, and it was because all these celebrities were doing it, right? But Kabbalah's been around for thousands of years. And so that's the thing about when you embrace spirituality, you do it because you've been led to this particular point in your life and it's a new journey. You're not doing it because it's the next greatest thing that some celebrity is doing because as we know, celebrities come and go. They join something and they fall off the wayside and then we don't hear anything about it. It's super popular and then, it's not popular. Like back in COVID, people were doing all kind of stuff, but we don't hear anything about those things, right?
Mhm.
So when you're embracing spirituality, make sure that you're not doing it because of external influences and you're being led by what's on in the media at that moment in time. Spirituality is something that is with you and is meant to stay with you from the moment you embrace it until the moment you go on to your next life or your next journey, you die, right? So I say take it in bite-sized pieces. And we hear about detoxifications and all of that kind of stuff. And in Ayurveda, one of the beautiful things I love detoxification. I'm a detoxification specialist, but one of the beautiful things is you got to scrape away all the shit, you know, so that you can build a beautiful foundation on a clean slate, right? And so detoxification, whether you're detoxifying your mind, your body, your spirit, whatever it is, you gotta scrape away the shit. And sometimes scraping away the shit reveals things that you don't like about yourself or that you've put behind the shelf, so to speak, and you don't want to think about it because it may have been painful, or you've experienced something that just wasn't right. That's the shit that prevents us from being in that beautiful essence and embracing the true spirituality of what the divine has in store for us. Of course, life is not easy. No one ever said life was gonna be easy. But when you can recognize, 1, when you're out of balance, 2, when you're being influenced by external things that is full of shit, and 3, that it's not yours, and 4, sometimes it might be yours. When you recognize these things, it's so much easier to transform your essence and become that beautiful butterfly. I'm like, you go from the caterpillar, you die, and then you evolve as this beautiful butterfly, and that's really what it's all about. And I think the journey of being holistic is about, being that caterpillar and crawling along, and then all of a sudden you get to a moment on your path to bliss, and it's time for you to transform. Either you transform and you die, or you transform and you go to a place where you are almost dead and you're recreated like from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and then you fly out and you have this beautiful essence. So
Visual's great. Last year was my year of the butterfly is what I called it.
oh, I love
So, I was like,
butterflies.
blowing it all up, but they liquefy. They
Yes.
melt completely. They're in the cocoon, crystallis, and
Yeah.
they melt, and I don't know if they're studying it for real or if I just saw this on a fake site, but does their little tiny brain melt, or does their brain remember when they were
Right.
when they were caterpillar? Anyways.
Interesting. Oh, but you know what? I never even thought about that myself. And I've got a butterfly tattoo that I've had for years because I know I'm a butterfly. I was a caterpillar, and I've evolved, and I'm this beautiful, big, giant butterfly. Like how
Yes.
if you used to see at Disneyland, those things you could
Mhm.
have a big, beautiful at
Oh,
least that's
yeah.
mine.
Oh, yeah. So you help primarily women, but you work with all genders, but primarily women turn passion into purpose and purpose into profit. This alignment is soul alignment, right? So how
Yeah.
does soul alignment affect somebody's path to success?
So first of all, you have to know what you're passionate about. And a lot of times as we go through our life, we think we're passionate about this or that or the other, but they're really just moments in time. Just like I want to say shoes. I love shoes. I have a shoe fetish. So, one moment I want to be in the stilettos and I'm passionate about being, in stilettos. And then I gently, you know what? I want to have a ton of, sneakers. So I have my Reeboks, my Nikes, my, gym shoes, whatever it is, right? And then I might just want flat. I'm passionate about wearing flats. And then eventually I have all of these things. And so I know that my passion is shoes. I'm a shoe whore. I love
Yeah.
shoes, but because I know that that's a passion of mine, I'm okay with it. So when you know what your passion is, whether like me nursing or, being a business owner and helping women to see what they can't see that really transforms their not only them but their businesses, when you're passionate about it, it comes from your heart and soul. And people can see that. They resonate with that energy. But the first thing is you got to think about, what are you passionate about? What would you do even if you didn't get paid for it, but you do it because you love to do it? Like me, helping people with their health and well-being. I love helping people with their health and well-being. I am intuitive. I can see illness in people that sometimes even the medical doctors can't see. Can see mental blocks where the person doesn't even see that mental block. I can see blocks in businesses. I can see where the business is out of alignment, where the people within the business are in not the right positions that are aligned with their dosha, their natural tendencies, their gifts, right? And so these are things that I would do even if I didn't get paid for it, and I've been doing it all my life. But you have to discover, what are you passionate about, and what is something that you would do to help someone or yourself or whatever, that you would do it because you love to do it, not because it's going to bring you monetary value. And once you discover that, it becomes a game changer, because then it's like, okay, you're passionate about this. Now let's take your passion and turn it into profit for you. Let's create a business that is in alignment with your passion, or your career that's in alignment with your passion. And let's see you be successful in elevating that to the stratospheres. Because when you're doing it and it's your passion, you're doing it for the love of it, not necessarily for the rewards. And of course, the rewards are available and can come to you, right? But mostly you're doing it because it's just something you love to do. Sometimes people just love to bake. They're passionate about baking. They just bake, but they're not baking to make money. They just love to bake. And then it's like, well, you know what, girl? You can take those $5 million cookies that you make and you share, you bake for everybody in the office or whatever. Let's see if we can, take that and, you know, help you to have some profit from that. Or if you
Mhm.
like designing clothes or swimwear and you just do, just for fun, you're passionate about, you like the creativity aspect of it. Let's see if we can elevate that for you, if that's something you would like to do.
So many questions in a row. I'm gonna break it down. One, so to know what you're passionate about is in itself a journey because
Yeah.
there's so many folks that are going to work, getting out of work, maybe they're tired. Well, we're all tired. They're tired and then saying, "Okay, was I passionate about that day or is it baking or should I be in HR and I'm in sales or should I be
Right.
in marketing?" How does what are some steps somebody can take if they're like, "I don't even know what I'm passionate about. I don't even know if I like shoes."
Okay, so the first step I would say is go to my site, Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com, and take the dosha quiz. That way, you find out where your dosha is. You definitely will have a primary, a secondary, and maybe a tertiary one, but you'll find out what your dosha is. Once you have that information, then you can find out and you'll get a bunch of free information gifts that go along with helping you to understand your dosha better. But once you have that, then you'll understand where you are, if you're in a career, whatever you're doing, you'll understand if it's in alignment with your natural tendencies. Okay, so for example, Vata people that are predominantly Vata are hugely creative. They're artistic, they're creative. They have this energy about them that's just beautiful, right? They just think they can take a bug and turn it into this beautiful creation, right? They're
Mhm,
imaginative and they're visual. So if a Vata person is doing a job where they're behind the scenes and they're implementing processes, that they're out of alignment.
mm.
'Cause that doesn't allow them to be creative. It doesn't allow them to be artistic. It doesn't tap into their natural gifts, right? So they're out of alignment. And a Pitta, full of fire. Pittas are visionary. They're creators of their imagination. So I'm gonna give you an example of who a visionary is. The one that pops into my head all the time is Stephen Jobs. He was a visionary. He envisioned us all having this device in our hands that we could do whatever we wanted to do, right? He envisioned that technology, and then he gave it to the creator to create the marketing behind that beautiful technology. He gave it to the kappas, who are the people that are behind the scenes that will run your processes to the hilt. They like doing the work. They're the ones that you can count on to get stuff done behind the scenes. They don't want to be creative. They don't want to be out in the front. They don't want to be the visionary because they don't want that. They don't have that kind of fire. But if you strategically need somebody that's in the back, just making sure stuff gets done, those are your kappas. So Stephen Jobs had this vision of the iPhone or I'm going to say the Mac computer. He took it to kappa who could implement the processes he developed, so to speak, to implement the processes. The kappa took that information and began strategically implementing it. Then they met with the Vata who created the way the phone should look, how the phone should be marketed, or the computer or whatever, how the product should be marketed. And together we have billions and billions of iPhones and Mac computers around the world. But that's an example. So first of all, take the dosha quiz to find out what your predominance is and where your natural tendencies fall. And then once you have that information, you can apply it to your life. If you're a person that is an accountant, number crunching, you do it well, but that's not in alignment with your natural tendencies. You might be a Vata and you might be creative, but you're doing accounting, right? Maybe that helps you to identify you can be in accounting, but maybe you can be the marketer for a large accounting firm or create mark a sales and marketing plan or the vision for a large accounting firm and get from behind the scenes of doing the technical work of accounting to being the person that puts, I'm going to say, the Lawson accounting firm on the global platform. So definitely find out what your dosha is and then think about what you do, think about what you like to do, think about what you do good, but you don't really like to do it, you're just good at it. And then think about the stuff you hate doing and you're not good at, and eventually your passion will rise to the surface right here, and you'll be like, "Dang, I should dang, I should be that fashion designer," but, I've been doing all this other stuff, and I just been doing fashion design as just making clothes as a just something I do. Or, a baker or a banker or, Elon Musk, again, another person, super he's got to be a Pitta because he's fiery. Super imaginative, right? He has this vision of all these different things that he's doing with his companies, which is why he's the most richest man in the world. But then he brought in people that fit the tendencies of their natural gifts to bring his vision to the forefront. He
Mhm.
might be the visionary at SpaceX, but he's not the creator of the technology that allows SpaceX to work, right? He
Yep.
might be the visionary of the Tesla car and envision an electrical vehicle, but he's not the person that created the actual product that we see driving around. He brings in people to fulfill those needs of where he doesn't have it, and those people that he bring in are in alignment with their natural tendencies, and that's why he's the richest man on the planet.
Marrying your concept of, like, I'm thinking of Steve Jobs and Elon Musk getting the right people in the right seats, and this one bite at a time. I know we were talking about spirituality at the time, but also figuring out what your purpose is sounds like you can do little by little. So if you are that accountant and you're like, "Ugh, I want something more creative," you could ask your boss or the CEO, "Hey, I'm looking to explore, can I work with marketing on a few campaigns?"
Yeah.
And dabble, you don't have to turn a switch right away, just to see what you do like.
Yeah, I would suggest that. And also come at them when you're doing something like that, you gotta come at them with a game plan that they can understand. Because they're gonna be like, "Why in the hell would I have you go from accounting to marketing and you're an accountant?"
Mhm.
And you're like, "Oh, well, because 'cause I'm passionate about creative." That's not gonna work. So you gotta come with enough information that allows them to embrace the concept of, "Okay, yeah, we'll keep you in accounting, but we'll let you work a little bit on this project that marketing has, or vice versa, or whatever, whatever it is. Or if you're in marketing and you're more tactical and you want to make sure that stuff gets done, we'll let you stay in marketing, but we'll put you in the operations processes or operations department and see how you do because you might be misalignment. But you always, always, always have to come with a plan that, 1, lets them think it's their ideal, 2, that shows them the benefit of that, right? And 3, that doesn't have them think that it's going to take anything away from what you're currently doing. You
Yep.
always gotta make it seem like it's an advantage to them, like it's their ideal, and structure it like it's their ideal and allow them to embrace it. Because if you just come try to tell somebody, they're gonna like, "Girl, you better go back to your office."
I'm not paying you to have ideas on this
Yeah,
thing over here. Go do the art.
exactly. That's it. So you gotta say, "Hey, I was looking at this and whatever it is, I thought, this candle that we sell, I thought we can, expand the band, to enhance the revenue generation, allow us to have another source of revenue generation, blah, 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 blah." You always gotta come at it where it's an advantage to them and that it's, kind of like implanted in their head, like you have an ideal, but it's now their ideal.
This is all like little bites, doesn't have to be quick. You can take your time putting this plan together and have fun with it.
Yes.
I've butterflied myself multiple times. Is it possible to change what you're passionate about, melt it all down, and come back as something new more than once?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've done a few things. I've been a legal secretary. When I was young, I worked in electronics. Silicon Valley girl. I worked in electronics. It was one of my first jobs when I was in college. I hated it, and I knew exactly it was not for me. But then I went back and got an electrical engineering degree because I knew that I liked that aspect of it. I just couldn't get hired as an electrical engineer in Silicon Valley because I was the wrong gender, and I heard it from about 12 major corporations that are around today. This is in the 80s. But yeah, you can definitely play around with it and see how things fit. like putting on a pair of shoes. If the fit is like super supreme and comfortable and you feel luscious, then you know that's something. But if it's kind of off, it's rubbing your baby toe, you're starting to develop a blister, but you're forcing it anyways. You gotta, anytime you have to force something, it's not right. It's not meant for you.
I had to let go of some really nice suede shoes that just every time I wore them, they destroyed my feet. I was like,
Yeah,
"This isn't for me."
exactly. And and I'm using the shoe analogy, but that's everything in life. It's like relationships. Girl, he may be fine, it's all outdoor, body tight, he treats you good, but there's just something off. Pay attention to those little something offs, because in that little subtle essence is a big clue to what could evolve if you continue on that path. And so, like me with the electrical engineering, there was after, about the fifth time, I'm getting told, we would love to hire you, but you're going to be working around men that are your father's age. Until we can figure out how to make them comfortable, we can't hire you. There was this little subtle thing like, okay, this is as much as I want to do it. I got this second degree, college degree. It's not going to be for me. And if I do get in there, I'm not going to have it's not going to be a happy, and it's not going to fit like my, Nikes that I wear to the gym that I've had for, a while, that mold to my feet. And it just
Mhm.
feels like I'm walking on air, right? It's going to be, like you said, those little cute suede shoes that every time you wear them, ooh, they hurt.
So, with the getting the mind right, working on spirituality, dabbling, figuring it out, taking care of your body is another piece of this, holistic wellness. What are some of your keys to longevity and youth? Not just physically, but also energetically.
Keys to longevity, detoxification, number one thing. You gotta detoxify, this I like to say the sludge, the shit that's along the walls of your body. You gotta get that off, and the way you do that is detoxification. When I used to teach detoxification being a key to longevity to physicians at the International Medical Association's conference for, like, 5 years in a row, I was amazed at how many questions these physicians would have. Of course, I took it to the physiological level, right? But these are physicians. I'm a nurse, I'm a
Mhm,
nurse and, business owner, but everyone agrees that you have got to remove the toxins from your body. And once you remove the toxins from your body, you kind of start with a clean slate. And then you feed yourself the foods that are right for your dosha, of course, and the foods that are going to give you sustainability and longevity. And so the first thing is detoxification. And I have several detoxification programs that you can do on your own on my website. Super simple, easy to do. And if you want something deep, like I used to do when I had my spa in Tracy, California, then you can, set up a time with me and we can do what I call my bliss therapy treatment on you, where we go deep into detoxifying you and getting all that stuff out of you and then build you up. And it's just a wonderful essence. But first, detoxification of your body, detoxification of your mind. Because the shit in your head will stop you from doing the stuff that you need to do for your body, right?
mhm,
So detoxification, mind, body, and then begin incorporating foods that are natural for your essence, your dosha, that naturally go with your body type. Because one, you won't build up as much toxins. Um, 2, you'll be able to get rid of those toxins easier. 3, you energize your body with the food that is necessary for your body to harmonize. You're not gonna put premium gas in a gas that only takes regular, in a car that only takes regular gas, and you're not gonna put regular gas in your Mercedes Benz because it takes premium, right?
mhm.
Otherwise, you're gonna have some problems. Same thing with our bodies. We should treat our bodies like they're the Rolls Royces or Bentleys, and then feed them what they need to run harmonistically. And then after detoxification, I would say start incorporating meditation practices. It doesn't have to be long. You can do, I tell everyone, simple meditation is the moment you wake up, don't just jump out of bed. Take a minute, scan your body, just give thanks to being able to wake up and just sit with that essence, that energy for a minute or two and then get up. That's a simple meditation anybody can do. There are the meditations where you can sit for 5 minutes to an hour or whatever. And those are really, really good too. I meditate every day. But just start simple. If you take on too much, you won't stick to it. Utilization of affirmations. We feed our mind and we see so much stuff physically out there in the world that just corrupts our mind and prevents us to being in our true essence. A lot of times we don't even know it. So use affirmations. I have a book called 365 Days of Affirmations for a Year of Bliss. Each affirmation has an intention that goes with it to make you take an action to make that affirmation a reality in your day for that day. So, utilization of affirmations, we do more negative talk to ourselves than positive talk. So then begin practicing positive self-talk. I am strong. I am powerful. I am a queen. When you say these things over and over, you start beginning to like, why am I treating myself like I'm not a queen? Why am I allowing others to treat me like I'm not a queen, right? We're all queens and kings, but until we recognize it ourselves, we don't treat ourselves the best that we need to be.
I like that the affirmations come with something that's actionable. So you're not just wishful thinking, you're doing something to
Yeah.
make.
Yes, and the beautiful thing about that book is there's 365 affirmations that go from 1 to 365. You can start at 1 and go to 365, or you can just open it up to whatever pa like, I'm gonna open the book up. "Oh, this is my affirmation for the day, and this is the intention, the action that I need to take to make that affirmation." Read that in the morning, and it will stick with you, and all throughout the day, even if you wanna write it down and paste do it on a Post-it and put it in your car, on your desk, what computer, whatever, all throughout the day, you will make sure that the actions you take is making that affirmation a reality for you in your day. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to start slowly, but embrace the wisdom and the beauty that you're meant to have.
I mean, we're all playing Wordle every day, so we can take 1 minute to write down. I got a little, I love little sticky notes. You
Yeah,
could
me
do
too.
a minute to write it down and think. Those are very doable micro habits to start adding.
Yes, you can put it on a few sticky notes, put one on your mirror in the bathroom. As you're getting ready, you're saying that, right?
Mhm.
Get out the shower, you're saying it. Take one to stick on your car. So as you're driving, when somebody cuts you off and say, instead of dropping F-bombs and, stuff like that, you have that affirmation. Just look at that affirmation, put one on your computer at work or your desk at work. And that way you have constant reminders. I like to do 3s and 5s and 7, but you have constant reminders throughout the day. So when you fall off the wagon, so to speak, you see that affirmation, you're able to get back up on that wagon or that horse and, ride your journey to bliss.
With someone, so a founder or a business leader or someone who's moving 1,000 miles a minute, how do they take time to we've all heard, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," right? How
Mm.
do we get folks in that who are in that space of go, 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 to pause, slow down, and start taking care of themselves in this way, spiritually, physically?
The very first thing is pay attention to your breath. There is a reason why they say pranayama works, and that's part of the whole journey to bliss, so to speak. And when taking care of yourself, pay attention to your breath. You'll notice when you start paying attention moments when you're shallow breathing, when you're not breathing, and when you when you have those moments where you notice these things, stop, taking a nice slow deep breath, hold it, and then release it. And it helps to reset you. Now, again, everything is not instantaneously, but the more you begin practicing this, the more you pay attention, the more you will pay attention. You know what I mean? It's almost like the more you pay attention to things, the more you will pay attention because it keeps showing up. When things keep showing up in your life, there's a reason. The the essence, the divine is trying to get your attention to something. So, pay attention to when you're going crazily, when you feel just like you're just on go, 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 go. You go to sleep, you wake up, you're not really taking care of yourself. In those moments, just when you realize it, stop, pause, take a nice slow deep breath in. You can do it once, you can do it 20 times, whatever feels right. And it helps to ground that chaotic energy that's going all like this, the volcano that's like about ready to go all over the place, right? Helps to stop it, ground it, and then resets you for that moment in time so you can go forward. Now you may be start off doing it 100 times a day, just stopping, pausing, and then go, stop and taking a deep breath and go or whatever. But the more you do it, the more you pay attention. And the more you pay attention, the less you'll start having that chaotic energy because it starts to feel good. And once you do it enough, it starts to feel orgasmic. And everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody, well, not unless you're a kid. Well, I don't know. I think, little babies, their penises get hard, so there's something going
Ah,
on, right? They only they're not having sex, but, if you ever taken care of
there's
a little
something.
baby, an infant, their penises get hard, so pay attention, and it starts to feel orgasmic. Girl, who doesn't want an orgasm that, have this orgasm I don't wanna say orgasm, but have this orgasmic feeling that you can duplicate? Because every time you have an orgasm, you feel amazing after, right? I mean,
Other people notice. You're
mhm,
glowing.
like, bam! I was just going to say that. It's it, so you can do that by taking these simple pauses and doing some deep breaths and grounding that chaotic energy. And over time, you'll just have that orgasmic glow. People be wondering, like, I wonder what Chelsea doing.
Mm.
Well, she just kind of looks like she always like got this FF glow. So what is Chelsea doing?
If you only knew,
Yeah,
folks.
exactly. I'm just doing breathing, but you think what you wanna think. I might be, but yeah, so I would say that for sure.
Well, I've learned a lot. I didn't even know how to say Ayurveda before this started. So I've learned a lot in this session, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom with all of the folks who are listening or watching. You want to have a few fun rapid fire questions?
Yes,
Okay. What's your vice?
sweets,
Mm, like chocolate or fruity or anything?
anything sweet.
Okay.
Chocolate, candy, cookies, cakes, pies, puddings. Yeah, can't
Peach
yeah.
cobbler.
Peach cobbler, girl, pumpkin pie, peach pie, chocolate chip cookies, and just not one, it's yeah, 5. Yeah, sweets.
Mm,
I've been a sweetaholic since I was a kid.
I love dessert. It's my favorite part of the day.
I just love sweets, everything sweet. Sweet men, yeah,
If you were a car, what make and model would you be and why?
Definitely a Bentley.
Mm,
It's my luxury elegance feel when I'm all dolled up, feeling like
mm.
I'm Beyonce.
Mhm.
And then I think I would be a Porsche. That's when I'm that badass sporty chick, just like, "Yeah, I'm doing 180. Yeah," so a Bentley and a Porsche for sure.
Do you have different shoes that you're wearing in each of those?
I do. I have my
Okay.
5-inch stilettos when I'm in the Bentley, and the Porsche I could have on some Nikes and my athletic wear, going gym wear, or I could have some pumps on, some really nice, high pumps too. Step out with the little mini skirt,
Oh,
on
yeah.
there.
This fall, Clueless season. Clueless fashion is back. Clueless, the
Mhm,
movie, is 30 years old. So those mini skirts with the pumps and the high socks, let's
mhm.
see,
Yeah,
in the
let's see.
Porsche. And then you've built a lot of businesses that helped other people for the past 25 years. What's something surprising that you learned about yourself along this journey?
That I do have patience.
Nice. Finish this sentence. Growth happens when.
You have sex. No, I'm kidding. Growth happens when you open your mind and body and spirit to the unlimited possibilities that are available for you in life.
You little butterfly, you. Awesome. Well, I had a great time learning from you and sharing this time. I appreciate you coming on and sharing with us.
Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate you having me as a guest. It's been really fun.